You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Now, folks, Donald Trump spent today whining and complaining on Twitter. Oh, my goodness, they aren't telling me thank you, and they aren't saying we appreciate all that you've done. Really? Really? And now what he's done is he's now shifting the blame to the states. Well, after he was blasting Governor Andrew Cuomo on Twitter, actually was watching Cuomo's news conference and was commenting on what Cuomo was saying. This is so delicious. Watch what Cuomo said back to Trump as he watched him on TV.
Let's respond to the president. First of all, if he's sitting home watching TV, maybe he should get up and go to work, right? Second, let's keep emotion and politics out of this and personal ego if we can, because this is about the people and it's about our job. And let's try to focus on that. I have said repeatedly that when we were fighting for the additional capacity for our hospital system, that the president moved very quickly, and I applauded him for it. And he brought the Army Corps of Engineers, and he brought them up to build the Javits Center capacity, 2,500 beds. He's wrong that it hasn't been used. About 800 people have gone through Javits. To dismiss 800 people is disrespectful. But we didn't use 2,500 beds because we didn't reach the capacity. When he says, well, we built it, we didn't need it, it sounds like a suggestion is, well, it was a request by the state that wasn't valid. If he didn't really believe 2,500 beds was necessary, I don't believe the federal government would have helped build 2,500 beds. And the number came from a projection from him. See, he should read the reports he issues. The White House Coronavirus Task Force had enormous, projected in the millions of people. The CDC, which is the president, projected in the millions of people. So the projections were high. They were the president's projections. So for him to say to anyone, well, you relied on projections and the projections were wrong, they're your projections, Mr. President. So were we foolish for relying on your projections, Mr. President? CDC, Coronavirus White House Task Force, that's you, White House, that's you. We relied on your projections. Okay, shouldn't have relied on your projections. Actually, I think the president has a better argument, which is, yes, we built 2,500 beds because the projections said it could get that bad, and because we worked together, we flattened the curve and we didn't hit the projection, which is actually what happened. But don't suggest that anyone made a mistake relying on your projections or on Cornell, Columbia, McKinsey, et cetera. Second, I have said a number of times, I don't know, what am I supposed to do, send a bouquet of flowers? They were very helpful on Javits. They were very helpful on sending the U.S. Navy ship Comfort. They were very helpful in intervening with China and getting PPE equipment out of China. They were very helpful in helping us find ventilators. I said, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, going forward, we're still in the midst of it. The president doesn't want to help on testing. He said 11 times. I said the one issue we need help with is testing. He said 11 times, I don't want to get involved in testing. It's too complicated. It's too hard. I know it's too complicated and it's too hard. That's why we need you to help. I can't do an international supply chain. He wants to say, well, I did enough. Yeah, none of us have done enough. We haven't, because it's not over. So yes, thank you for the Javits. Thank you for the U.S. Navy ship Comfort. But it's not over. We have a lot more to do. And no one can take the posture, well, just say thank you for what I've done, and I'm now out. I'm not doing anything else. I've done my part. What if I said to the people of my state, okay, I'm done. By the way, I saved hundreds of thousands of lives. I flattened the curve. I created more hospital beds than anyone ever imagined. I coordinated the entire state. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going home. I'm going to go see my mother. I'm going to spend time with my kids, and I'm going to go out fishing in Connecticut because their marinas are open. That's it. I'm done. What if I said that? That's what he's saying. I'm done. I don't want to help on testing. Testing is too hard. And then the only thing he's doing, let's be honest, well, it's up to the states to do reopen. By the way, it was always up to the states. What are you going to grant me what the Constitution gave me before you were born? It's called the 10th Amendment. I didn't need the President of the United States to tell me that I'm governor. And I didn't need the President of the United States to tell me the powers of a state. People did that. Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, they are the ones who gave me the power. And I don't need the President of the United States to read the Constitution for me. Maybe he should have read the Constitution before he said he had the power to open the states, where he did a very graceful 180, and many people allowed him to do the graceful 180. But, so he now says it's up to the governors, which he said repeatedly now, yesterday, version of yesterday. And now it's up to the governors to reopen. Okay, I'm going to reopen. I get it. And you don't want to help on testing, which is a national problem and replicates the same chaos that you created with medical supplies because FEMA wasn't ready. By the way, I needed a stockpile. Where was your stockpile? 10,000 ventilators for the nation? That was your stockpile? Where your projections, the federal projections said they would need double the hospital capacity of this nation. Think about that. The CDC says double the hospital capacity of the nation. The minimum projection was 2.4 million hospital beds. You know how many hospital beds we have in this nation? 900,000. His projection says 2.4 million hospital beds. The whole hospital system is only 900, and his stockpile has 10,000 ventilators. You were ready with your stockpile? Didn't you read your own CDC projection? Didn't you read your own coronavirus protection? So, thank you again, Mr. President, for the Javits. Thank you for the U.S. Navy ship Comfort, which, by the way, is just doing your job as president. It's not really thank you like you wrote a check yourself, but thank you for that. We're not out of the woods. We have to go forward. We need help on testing, and we need funding. It's up to the governors. It's up to the states. Well, then provide the funding. No, they only want to pass a bill that funds their small business fund called PPE, their small business program. We need to fund the small business program. But you're going to say, after just saying this monumental task is up to the individual governors and the individual states, I'm providing no help, no assistance, no financial money. I understand that small businesses need the funding. By the way, I know that airlines need a bailout, but not the states. Why don't you show as much consideration to states as you did to your big businesses and to your airlines? Right?
Ooh, talk about laying the wood. See, that's what happens when you actually read stuff and you have facts, but clearly Donald Trump has no clue whatsoever. Joining us right now is Dr. Ebony Jade Hilton. She's associate professor, anesthesiology and critical care medicine, University of Virginia. All right, Dr. Ebony, clearly as you heard that, you had to be saying, damn, this sort of reaction I got, damn. It was just like another, damn. Then just another, damn.
I was about to call a timeout. He had time today. He had time today.
And Trump was watching. Trump was watching because he was live tweeting.
Listen, I'd have had to turn that off. We had to fight. I mean, that was, for me, anybody that knows me, that was life for me, because to read someone for exactly who they are without even having to throw insults, just to give you a mirror and say, hey, look, this is what you've been handing out. Everybody sees it. It's very clear. You're not fooling anyone. But I give him, he had time. He had a Bible to give the hand on. I loved every piece of it. So yeah, I'm here for it.
The thing is that what you're dealing with right now is Donald Trump wanted these governors to beg. He wanted them to bow down. Now he's doing this. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm done with y'all. So y'all, I ain't got nothing to say. So y'all figure out testing. I ain't got no problem. That's what's going on here. That is dangerous.
It's not only dangerous. See, I see Trump for who he is. This is a setup for when it goes bad, I have someone to blame because I didn't open it up. You guys opened it up.
There you go.
And you didn't do it the right way. What we know is that before you can open up the economy, biology will always win. So unless you have testing in place, unless you have a method by which to trace those who are actually positive and make sure that their community is going to be safe and that they have the resources they need to actually isolate themselves and actually still have money to feed themselves and keep a shelter over their head, unless you have the treatments already in place and the hospitals geared up to take care of the people that may come in mass, then you're not ready to open the economy. But what Trump wanted to do was, because our economy is in struggles, and I do know, like I said, virus kills, but so does poverty. So do we have to balance? Yes. But you balance and you open the economy once you have these measures in place. And he knows it's not in place. Dr. Fauci has probably told him this is not going to be good. And so what now Trump is doing is covering his tracks to say, governors, this one is on you. If it's your choice to open it, then go ahead and open it. But as soon as it goes bad, he's going to say, I had nothing to do with it.
Well, he's already said, I take no responsibility at all. And that's exactly what you're seeing here. This whole deal, the federal government, we're not a backstop for ventilators and for equipment. You know, we're not some shipping clerk. Actually, you are. That's why there's an emergency stockpile of all kinds of goods and services for that very reason. Now, when you looked at these orders that they gave, do you believe they make sense? Or do you think what's going to happen is governors, county officials, and mayors are going to say, you know what? That's cute. Y'all set the guidelines. We gonna listen to real professionals who are going to give us the 411 on what's proper and what's just.
Well, sadly enough, we already know what's going to happen. If your state is red, you know what's going to happen. If your state is blue, you know what's going to happen. Unfortunately, what we've seen with this administration is that it has become very divisive, where science does not matter. It matters along the lines of party lines. And so we saw the states that took forever to have a stay-at-home order. There's still some states without one. We know which governors have said, oh, we're going to keep our beaches open, and which one said that our state is going to be closed regardless if you march on my grounds or not. We're closed. So we already know how this is going to go. And so what I tell those people in those red states is that our prayers are with you, and we're going to do everything we can do on the medical end to take care of you. We just have to band together.
I just think that, look, the governors in the regions are doing the smart thing by saying we're going to coordinate amongst ourselves because, frankly, we're not getting any leadership from Washington. And I think you're absolutely right. Donald Trump wants to completely wash his hands of this. He wants to just push it all on everybody else and just, like Cuomo said, just sit back and just go off and do something else, maybe go play golf.
I mean, he did it with the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization, he had reports and memos back in 2019 that said, this is in China, this is what we're up against, here's a test that you can actually use, and he said no. 12 weeks later, we still didn't have a test that was up and functioning in the United States, and now here we are 2 days ago, where he's saying, World Health Organization, it's your fault that America is looking the way it looks, and I'm going to defund you right in the middle of a world, like a global pandemic. I don't understand this at all. And just like, Cuomo was saying that he wants the 10th Amendment, or talking about the 10th Amendment, I'm looking at the 25th. My question is, where is that one? We need that one at this point in time.
Well, look, I think bottom line is, look, they can call for this, but I think people, until they are able to trust where we are, they're not going to be going out there. And this other deal is, I was looking at some tweets earlier, and that was apparently a call with members of Congress, and Vice President Mike Pence did it, and the Democrats were screaming, testing, 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 and they said that was the most embarrassing call we've ever had, because these people they really act as if there's been enough testing. They announced this week 3.5 million tests. Kayleigh McEnany, a new press secretary, we've done more testing than anywhere in the world. That's not even 1% of the U.S. population.
It's insane. If you break it down, for every 1 million people in the United States, we've tested 10,000. That doesn't make sense at all, considering the fact that we know there are several, as what we estimated, at least 3 to 5 people for every one that we have tested as positive that are positive right now. We just didn't have a test for them to take. And so we are greatly behind the 8 ball on this. I urge people, regardless of if your elected officials tell you that you can go, if you go out of your home, you must protect yourself, not only for yourself, but for your family as well, and for other families, because this thing is not over. We don't expect it to be over until late into the summer, if not into the fall. And so we have to be smart about this process and know that biology will always win.
Yep. End of the day. Simple as that. Every single night, we've got some of the top black experts. You're not going to see them on cable news or broadcast news because you swear black people aren't experts when it comes to this health crisis. That's why we have this show and why we do what we do every day on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Joining us right now is retired General Russell Honore, the nation's first black Surgeon General, Dr. Joycelyn Elders. John Hope Bryant, he is the founder of Operation Hope. Senator Kamala Harris of California, Dr. Sadrina Calder, retired General Lloyd Austin, Congresswoman Karen Bass, Commissioner Omari Hardick, Bureau President in Brooklyn, Eric Adams, Dr. Joseph Graves, America's Wealth Coach, Deborah Owens, Dr. Corey Abear, Patel Saul, Howard University student, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Dr. Christy McDowell, Benja Ajilore, Senior Economist at the Center for American Progress, Gilda Daniels, again, author of the book, The Crisis of Voter Suppression in America. 4 stars, General Kip Ward. Dr. Oliver Brooks is President of the National Medical Association, President of the American Medical Association, Dr. Patrice Harris. Joby Benjamin, Dr. Alexia Gaffney, Infectious Disease Specialist, Dr. Georges Benjamin, Executive Director of the American Public Health Association, Malcolm Nance, Family Medicine Physician, Dr. Jen Caudle, Dr. Tashaka Cunningham, a molecular biologist, Kat Stafford. She's a national race and ethnicity reporter for the Associated Press. Dr. Wayne A.I. Frederick, who is the president of Howard University. Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from the state of New York. William Spriggs, AFL-CIO economist. Andrea James, Executive Director of the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls. All right, let's go to Capitol Hill. Congressman Gregory Meeks, Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson of Texas, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, mental health clinician Jamie Singletary, Prince George's County State's Attorney Aisha Brayboy, as well as Dylan Hayrie, ACLU Justice Division strategist. Dr. Cindy Duke, she is a virologist. Principal Steve Perry of Capitol Prep. Health and wellness specialist Dr. Yolandra Hancock. Desmond Meade, president of the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition. Cliff Albright, who is the co-founder of Black Voters Matter. Michael Harriot with the group. Mina McWhorter, founder of Love by the Hand. Dr. Julianne Malveaux, economist, president, Emerita Bennett College. Coroner Michael Fowler is the mayor of Atlanta. Keisha Lance Bottoms, mental health therapist Suzette Clark. Justin Giboney, attorney and political strategist, and Bishop Vincent Matthews Jr. Dr. Suzette McKinney, CEO and executive director of the Illinois Medical District. Dr. Leon McDougall, president-elect of the National Medical Association. Jana Bailey, mayor of Moss Point, Mississippi. Mario King. We're going to keep driving this thing to make sure our people are fully aware, safe, protected from coronavirus. You're getting the top medical experts, the top business experts, top political experts, top religious experts, because that's why we do what we do. Unapologetically and unfiltered. Ain't nobody else in the black media space doing what we do. Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.